even know what to say. There was very little that went right. I was in a good mood when I came over here. Not so much now. I don't think it's possible to misjudge trees this bad and have this much go wrong. Oh man. I think it's looking for me. Vultures are circling already. A whole bunch of them. I think that's like 6. Beautiful calm night, and they're just riding the currents up there. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dirt Grease Outdoor Peace. And today I'm back out here on the edge of my field trying to shed some light on this area where I have a food plot, trying to get some more sunlight on it and trying to get it to dry out a little bit. And last time I made the video of dropping this maple, and then I did a follow-up on a short of the deer browse on that, and they just hammered that thing. They chewed all the buds off. They ate it back to about a 1/4 inch on the stem, and so I had the MS261C out here. This is the tronic carburetor, and we've been having a little bit of trouble with it. We got it back from the dealer last fall, and we didn't get a chance to use it, so I fired it up today and brought it out to cut some of those trees, and it's running pretty good. It sounds a little bit lean, and it's trying to idle real high, and so I keep having to put the chain brake on. So we'll just see what happens with that. Yeah, so when I was upset earlier, I was looking at the trunk of that spruce tree, and I was trying to follow it in the woods, and it was even leaning that way. Well, I was looking at the lean, I wasn't even focused on the branches. It had a bunch of really big branches that reached way out in the field, and I put a nice face cut on it to drop it into the woods, and I bored into it and set my hinge. The mistake I made was not putting wedges in the back, or I should have pulled the saw out, put some wedges in it like I usually do, and then try and just cut the strap on the back and drop it over. I had a really nice hinge on there. I don't know if I could have wedged it and overcome the lean or the weight of the counterweight of the branches, but at least I wouldn't have had the saw stuck in there. So I had the tree sat down on the bar, and so I just I unbolted the side cover and took the power head off so that I wouldn't hurt it. And then I cut through the hinge and it fell right out into the field, and it didn't do any damage to the bar or the chain or anything. One other thing I wanted to mention was if you go back and look at some of the other chainsaw videos that I did, this is my MS200, and this is well, the other one is actually Pro Series too, but this saw is a Pro Series. And a funny story with this saw, I bought this used from a hardware store, and this is a I don't know, well, back when this was sold, it was probably, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. It might have been $600 or $700, and the guy was having issues with it, and he brought it back to the hardware store, and it was sitting in the shop back there where they had a propane tank, or they had, no, I think it was something happened. They had a fire, then there was it was just a small fire, but then there was a propane tank in there, and that exploded, and they had all kinds of fire damage in there. Well, this saw is all singed. All this roughness up on top is all fire damage, and this is all charred. The top of the handle is charred. This is charred a little bit. They replaced the air cleaner cover. I think that's all they had to do. But it's got a 14-inch bar. It's got the smaller chain on it. It is a Pico. Yeah, it's a I think it's a 3/8 Pico. It takes a little smaller file. But what I wanted to mention about this saw was, for power to weight ratio, this saw is about as good as it gets for power to weight ratio. It's pretty much an arborist saw with the rear handle on it. I don't know if you can see the main body of it. It's about this, it's the same size as an arborist saw. They made the MS200T, I think, with the top handle. But for some of the smaller felling and bucking and stuff, this saw is a real powerhouse for how big it is and how light it is. And it's handy, and you don't for a guy like me that doesn't run a saw every day, you don't get wore out running this saw. And so I think I had, it ran okay. I had a little bit of trouble with running issue. I think I rebuilt the carburetor, and then it was puking fuel, or it was running out of fuel, and it had a vent. The vent hose was pinched in there, so I had to replace the vent hose, and it had a few on and off running issues, but lately it's been running real good. The only problem with this saw is that it leaks bar oil, and I should probably look into checking the hose and stuff at some point. It does have an adjustable oil pump, and I've got that adjusted pretty good. It doesn't really spray a ton of oil when you're running it, and you can see it's pretty dry in there. But when I had it sitting in the cabinet, or if it's sat in my truck or something, it would leak. So I was trying to come up with an idea. So I took a cat litter bucket, and I cut a hole in the back for the back handle, and then I just cut a slot in the front for the bar. And then I've got rags in the bottom, and I keep a wrench in the bottom, and I'll slip the cover on there and show you. So all I do is slip the back through there. I forget how I did. I think I gotta have the handle up. Or the handle on this. Yeah, handle on this thing. gonna sit it right on top of the wrench. Put the back handle through. I can even make a circus out of that tonight. Pretty good. So then, not only is it handy, I can put the wedges in there and a hammer, and I set the oil right on top. A couple wedges in there. Put the hammer in there. Set the bar oil on top. And whatever's going to leak out of it is going to get caught in the bottom. And I can carry it fairly easy on the four-wheeler, and it's pretty handy. So I just thought I'd mention that. I know there's probably not too many saws that would fit inside of a bucket like that. Possibly a top handle saw, or a small rear handle saw, but it was just something I wanted to show you, even if it was an idea that you could carry over to a maybe a little bit bigger container, but it's really handy for that saw. So I just wanted to it was such a nice afternoon, I just thought I'd get the camera out. And I worked in the garage this morning, and just thought I'd drop a couple trees while the weather was nice, and we got a really nice couple days here. Today was in the mid 40s, tomorrow's supposed to be in the 50s. It was in the teens and snowing on Sunday. And so this is some this is a welcome change compared to that. Today's Tuesday, March 21st. First full day of spring. And so I'm doing a few things to the Tahoe frame. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the videos on the Tahoe chassis donor Apache custom build. I'm taking a 58 Chevy Apache truck body and putting it on a Tahoe, a 2005 Tahoe frame. And I had to get a new frame because the old frame was junk. And so I'm getting that frame back into a roller so I can get it out of the way. This weekend I'm going to work on my truck. I just bought the parts today. My truck is a 16 Silverado. It's got Duramax in it, and it needs a EGR cooler bypass. And you know, when the cars run good these days, you don't really think a whole lot about the emissions, but the emission systems on these new diesels are so bad, and it's terrible what the government has done to us. And I mean, this truck, the truck doesn't even have to pass an emissions test to get a state inspection in New York. And now it's because of this EGR system, it's limiting my speed. It's got me, it started off limited me to 65, then I could drive for so many miles. Now it's limited me to 55, and then the dinger inside, dinger, I don't know what to I didn't know what to call it. The chime in the truck goes off every 10 minutes or so while you're driving it, just to keep annoying you. Engine lights on. I can't use my remote start. So this weekend I'm going to do a EGR cooler bypass valve Sounds like a major surgery. It is like a major surgery. If you take this truck to the dealer, this valve is so close to the firewall that they either want you to pull the transmission, or a lot of places pull the cab off. They'll just undo all the wiring, unbolt it, and they'll pull the whole cab off the chassis and get to this valve that way. Well, I'm gonna try to avoid that, and I've seen that some other guys have done it without doing that. So I'm gonna pull the hood off, and I'm gonna put it up on the lift, and I'm gonna pull the wheels and tires off so that I can lower it down another 6 or 8 inches, whatever pulling the wheels will gain me. That'll, because the fenders are tall, so that'll gain me enough where I can not leaning over the truck so bad, or having to climb up and lean over it. So yeah, getting a few things rearranged in the garage, and gonna get geared up for that project this weekend. And I haven't really, besides getting this new frame into a roller, I swapped all the gears and everything from the old rear end to the new rear end, and that'll be on the next video that I put out for that. So yeah, so I just wanted to cut a couple trees and enjoy the night, and show you getting a little daylight in here already. There's a nice hole in the canopy right there. Gonna try to go through the pines here and thin some of those out, but yeah, that's what we're looking for. I want to get some direct sunlight down in this section up here. So well, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.